Now, the NSE 20 back in positive territory, but sitting quite flat at this stage. Talk us through market activity today.
Basically, I mean, it was pretty active. You saw the turnover at about 659 million. We saw quite a bit of profit taking across the board and from local investors and also foreign investors coming in on the buy side. Stocks such as Barclays were quite active. But they were quite active, and we also saw Safaricom is looking quite weak, and it always usually contributes quite a bit to market turnover. Also, we expected maybe a bit more activity on Total, but it was pretty quiet. But you can also attribute this to it's usually not a very liquid stock. Most buyers who come into this stock are usually looking at dividend hunters. So it didn't move much today. Actually, it didn't move at all. And as for the results, I think market had already begun to price that in, because if you notice at the end of April, it closed at about 16 shillings and 50 cents. Now, as at today, it had come down all the way. It lost about almost a shilling and 50 cents to about 15 shillings. So the poor results also had already been priced in by the market. And also the same thing for Kenel, although it's been suspended. I think they were afraid of speculation such as we saw, I think about 4 years ago when CFC and Stanbic announced the merger. We saw the share price shoot up by almost 500%.
Ken, just going back to Total Kenya, what are the prospects for the company going forward? It is also seeking funding to cut that heavy burn really caused by the high lending rates. We are seeing lending rates sitting at 18%, with the central bank not really moving on interest rates, leaving them at 18%.
Total has always been very active in the CP market. That's the commercial papers market. I think they're the biggest commercial paper issuer in the market. And as we've seen, the fixed income, because this would fall under a fixed income segment. The fixed income segment of the market has really felt the rise in interest rates. I mean, the rise was really high. So this could have contributed to the much higher financing costs we've seen in this financial year for Total. Going forward, I think they would really have to look at their strategy because I mean, both of Kenel and Total, they're both oil companies locally. Their market share is not that different. And basically they buy oil at the same price from the suppliers. So such a big difference in the results is really a poor showing. What we saw with Kenel was that they went on a very aggressive marketing strategy in the year 2011-2012 that may have been expensive at first, but paid off at the end of the year.
Now, what's this merger likely to do for Kenel Cobalt going forward? I mean, Puma Energy trying to get a majority stake in the company.
I'm thinking maybe they might, from the statement they issued today, we might see them go the Airtel way that happened in Zambia, where they came in, bought out Airtel and delisted it from the stock exchange. Although this is just speculation, but that was the general tone of the statement that was issued today. So far, they say they've picked up about, what, 70%. So they would be looking to pick up probably another 20% of the shares, and this would allow them to delist from the stock exchange, if that's the way they would choose to go.
Looking at the CBK, it announced that it will auction a 5-year paper at 3 billion shillings in May. This is the smallest amount since 2009. What did you make of this small amount, and how is it likely to perform?
I think most of the market had expected it. In fact, the market didn't expect a bond issue at all this month. But CBK still came in and met market and issued a paper where the market was hoping for. There's been a large demand overhang for 2 to 5 year issue papers as investors look to pick up treasuries and lock in these good rates. So they came out, although it's 3 billion is very small. I think that's what they usually do when they issued the 91-day T-bill. So, of course, we expect heavy oversubscription. The market is still very liquid, despite CBK coming in with repos every week. Although these are short-term repos, they're about 7 days. So the money always comes back into the market. But we have been seeing the interbank rate has been rising. Yesterday closed at about 16.3. We're expecting to close higher today.